WWE reportedly had plans for Riddle to win the Men's Royal Rumble this past Saturday night in St. Louis. WWE ended up changing plans for the Rumble several times over the week leading up to the big event, but PW Insider reports that Riddle was the front runner to win the whole match until the final decision was made to have Brock Lesnar get the win. At one point, there was a pitch for hometown star Randy Orton to win the Rumble as well, but Riddle was still set to win until they went with Lesnar. Riddle entered the 30-man Royal Rumble match at number 20 and was the 27th elimination, tossed out by Lesnar. He picked up 2 eliminations during the match, blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. Lesnar will be on tonight's Raw to pick his WrestleMania 38 opponent. Oh, I wonder who that might be. WWE previously teased that Riddle and Orton will face Otis and Chad Gable in another academic challenge on tonight's Raw, but the segment has not been confirmed as of this writing. What do you think about this rumor swirling around that Riddle could have won or was potentially down to win the Royal Rumble? And do you think, in retrospect, very easy for us to talk in hindsight, do you think that that would have actually been a good decision from a booking standpoint?
I mean, Riddle wasn't even in like top 5. I never would have guessed Riddle to win the Rumble. I mean, don't get me wrong. Him and Randy are stupid entertaining. They're the best part of Raw every week.
Yeah.
Like, he's incredible, but a Raw, I cannot see it winning the Royal Rumble. I don't think it would have eventually led to a rated RK Bro split. I mean, I can guarantee it wouldn't have been over the title. Like, probably fucking Riddle bets it at Elimination Chamber and loses it or something because, he's high all the time. All those high jokes last week, guys. Haha. I mean, do I love the Lesnar win? No. But honestly, I don't think I'd like a Riddle one anymore.
Yeah, Royal Rumble's left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. Not because it was genuinely like people are saying it's horrible booking and they don't want to see Lesnar versus Reigns again. I'm okay with that. I just wish they hadn't given it to us at Saudi Arabia if this was going to be the end game and they knew all along. But they needed something big to sell that on. Personally, I think they should have main evented with Edge and Rollins and Hell in a Cell because it was good enough the main event. But as far as Riddle goes, I get why people want to say this, and I get why it might be a potential, rumor, or maybe this is the thing, right? These are just dirt sheets. WWE has a great deal of control over what goes out into the ether because ultimately they will find out who leaks stuff and they will shit can them if they think that, that's egregious enough. So I try to take it with a pinch of salt. Matt Riddle is incredibly over on Raw. A lot of people don't like Matt Riddle because sexual assault allegations, things of that nature, allegedly. And that's understandable. I understand that would trigger certain people. I'm not here to discuss whether those are true or not and whether you're entitled to be offended or not, because ultimately those are your feelings. But for me, like you say, I didn't have Riddle on my radar. I think he's very over. But for me, Riddle feels like he's in the proper spot. High-end mid-card guy, working with a high-end talent like Randy Orton. Randy Orton's amazing. He can drop from the mid-card and then back up again. And, he shifts around. He's very versatile now and he's very motivated. He seems to be having fun with Riddle. And I think there's a lot less pressure on you when you're not in the main spotlight. It would have been interesting to see how a guy like Riddle coped with that. Obviously, people will say, well, he's high as a kite, so he doesn't give a fuck. But, there's a lot of pressure that goes with it. And we saw guys like Eddie Guerrero, really struggle with that. And, he is by far and away one of the greatest wrestlers to have ever lived. So, Matt Riddle is not quite there yet, although he's doing a great job. It would have been nice for him to win if he was going to go after Bobby Lashley. I think Riddle versus Lashley in a proper full-on fight has a lot of selling point to it. And I think that Lashley should be holding the WWE title until at least WrestleMania. So I'm hearing things. Frankie T, of course, predicted he thinks that it's going to be Riddle versus Orton for the WWE title. That doesn't make sense to me, nor would it be very good. And also it would weaken Bobby Lashley down the line, which I don't think is sensible either. So do I think Riddle should have won the Rumble? No, actually. But if he had, I wouldn't have been offended by it. But I just think, all in all, it's disappointing that Lesnar won because he didn't need to win to challenge Roman Reigns. He's already got a built-in thing. Roman Reigns could just basically refuse and then you could put an authority figure in, or Brock Lesnar could basically, have Adam Pearce up by his Adam's apple and say, give me a fucking title shot or I'll break your goddamn neck. And he's like, yes, sir. That's you done for WrestleMania. Easy as that. Using the biggest plot device you have in all of wrestling, other than the Money in the Bank, the Royal Rumble match, and just kind of spunking it away like that. I think that's why people are disappointed. But like I say, the original topic is Riddle potentially winning it. I wouldn't have been offended by it, but at the same time, he wasn't on my call sheet.
No, definitely not. Like I said, not top 5, not even top 10. And there's only 30 guys in it. So
yeah, I mean, to be fair, if he had won it, would have been a good thing because it was full of jobbers. And a little side note as well, all I keep hearing about is how Riddle had this dream scenario and he could shoot on Brock Lesnar and blah, 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 and he can take him and he's a legitimate fighter. And I liked his facial expressions when there's his music hit. It was almost like his dream had come true. He's like, oh, you look really excited and aroused. And then he just got dumped out like a piece of garbage. So with pretty much zero offense. So, I mean, which is good in a way because he is a professional. So it is what it is.